Hey guys, this is Stephanie Pickard, and today we're going to actually go over how to play beginner guitar. So this is a request we got from you guys. Thank you so much for sending in your requests. I'm going to try to make sure that you guys can see me, make sure I'm not talking to myself, which is always a good thing. And thank you guys. So thank you for tuning in every week. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 Central for about an hour. So sometimes it varies, but at the end, so after about 30 minutes, I'll do a Q&A. About anything. You can ask other questions, guitar related, life, whatever. And I'm going to give you guys a special code for hanging out, so stay tuned. I'm going to make sure that Facebook can see me, so just say hi, let me know that you guys can see me and everything's good, and we'll get started. Oops, sorry. All right, awesome. So let me check that out. So go ahead and for some of you, I know that you're not beginners. So even though this is a beginner lesson, I wanted to take the approach of kind of treating it as a beginner guitar lesson, but also if you're advanced on how to teach a beginner. I have a lot of friends that are really great at guitar, but teaching is hard for them. And they wonder, how do you teach someone? Because sometimes when you're really good at something, it's hard to put yourself in the mindset of starting over. And, and none of these things, are. So that's a really good approach as, hopefully that encourages you if you're a beginner. And if you're a teacher, you know nothing. They're just starting out, just like you did. So really try to channel back to when you were first starting out. I mean, like how to hold the guitar, what a fret is. So we're going to go over really basics, and then we'll do a couple easy songs. So, awesome. Awesome. I'll turn the volume up if you guys can hear me. So let me just check on Facebook, and then we'll keep going. So yes, just the parts of the guitar. So this is the body, this is the neck, or the fretboard is the actual thinner piece of wood. You can kind of tell that the guitar has two pieces of wood. So the neck is this entire part, and the fretboard is the board that has the frets on it. And you hear the word fret a lot. The actual fret is this piece of metal. But when we speak to one another as musicians, we're really referring to the space, so kind of the box. So fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And that's one octave of the guitar, and then it repeats. So that's why, advanced players a lot of times want 24 frets because they want two complete octaves. So that's the advantage of getting a guitar like that. The strings, they're the strings on the guitar. They go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I like to always remind people when they're starting out little tricks on how to remember that. So the biggest string is the biggest number. And finding a trick to remember the note names. E, A, D, G, B, E. So from the 6th string down. I've heard a bunch of different ones. I've heard Elvis always drives good, BMWs everywhere. That's pretty good. For elephants and dogs or donkeys grow big ears. Remember that, but E, A, D, G, B, and E. And so for a lot of people that are playing piano that are coming to the guitar, that can help a lot just to know that note. And a whole step on a guitar is 2 frets, skipping, so 1 right next to it would be a half step, and going a whole step. So a half step is 1, and a whole step would be going 0 to 2. So if you play piano, a whole step is white key to white key, or black key to black key, and a half step is white key to black key. Or when those 2 special spots where there's natural half steps, between B and C and E and F, there is no black key, but you can kind of get the idea. Thanks. Someone said, nice ESP. I love this guitar. This guitar is a lot of fun. I try to use a guitar with dots for you guys. And remembering which dot is which is really helpful when you're starting out. So let's see, Jam and Synths. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so just checking in on you guys. So just starting out. So remembering what fret is which too, especially when you're starting out, knowing that 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12. That can help you figure out where to go really quickly, and knowing those names, knowing F, G, A, B, C, there's not a dot, but C sharp is, and then E. So knowing how to jump around the guitar, that really helps too. So these are a couple really cool things when you're just starting out. But learning what the guitar is, here's your toggle switch, here's your pickups, here's your bridge, here's your tone and volume knobs, and just getting comfortable with it. So also having a lot of patience, because it is going to be frustrating, and practicing slow to practice fast and all those things. But the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So just hang there. So I thought I'd show you a couple beginning songs that I usually show people. So the very first example I do when you're very first starting out is Smoke on the Water, but I show it to you on the 6th string. So I do this because, when you are starting out, just even holding a fret is challenging. So in this case, we're going to really learn how to kind of, I think it's an exercise that's also musical. So there's an end goal. So not everybody, just wants to shred or has these goals like that. So sometimes giving someone something with some incentive is more fun than, not everyone's going to nerd out. So this one, I just put on the 6th string because it's the easier string to pick. But let's go ahead and go to the 6th string, and we're going to go open, 3, 5. So we're changing it from this kind of cool, double stop thing, and we're just changing it to a single note melody. So just because we're starting out, and it's just a really popular riff that everybody knows. Let's see. I can even hear you with my volume all the way up. Can you hear me when I'm speaking? Is everything quiet? May I ask what it is? This Lisa asked what kind of guitar this is. This is an ESP. I love this guitar. It's a sparkle finish. It's awesome. They gave it to me, and they thought that I'm the only metal person that would want to use this, because I like to giggle and whatever to smile. So it's really cool. I really love this guitar. It's super easy to play. So I'm going to split this into 3 parts because we're beginning. We're just learning. So part 1 is open, 3, 5. Those are the frets. So the way guitar players also communicate to one another is we say a string and a fret. And you'll notice that that's how you read tab. So tab is just 6 strings written across, just like how you read staff, but staff has 5 lines. And we're going to have 6 strings, and we write the fret number on it. So it would have a 0, a 3, and a 5 written on the 6th string instead of the actual notes. So open, 3, 5. When you're very first starting out, I don't put a lot of pressure on which finger you use, but later it does become a thing. So it makes things a lot easier when you use the finger that's the closest or makes the most sense logically. Because all of that, when you see like Olympic athletes and people that are swimmers and they wear swim caps and they shave their legs and their arms and they're like super focused, right? Everything helps like get them there faster, right? Every little edge that they can have. So on guitar, finger placement is really what that is for you. So having the right fingers, and it just takes less effort. So you want to make it easy. So open, 3, 5, right? Then I would have you play along. All right, and then part 2 is open, 3, 6, 5. So the first part was just an open string. And open on the guitar means no fingers on the fretboard. So just open. You let the open string ring out. So open, then I place my finger down, and when we make noise on the guitar, we make a note, sound out, we're actually pressing the string into the frets. So it's when the string, you'll see it, it's going to be hard to see on my guitar, but see how the strings don't touch the frets. It's when you push them, so they're touching the frets, that the guitar makes noise, not pushing all the way into the fretboard or the wood, right? That's going to make kind of a weirder sound. So it doesn't take that much effort to make a good sound. So open, 3, 5. The next one, so that was open 3rd fret to 5th fret, right? They're both dots. So that's also why this is a good example and is very easy. So part 2 is open, 3, 6, 5. When I'm not doing them with the chords, right? When I'm not doing them with the chords, I just use my middle to first. I go open, 3, 5, 3. So open, 3, 5, open, 3, 6, 5. So that one, we just go past the 5th fret, right? We want to find 6, and we know that 5 is a dot, so we just go right in between 5 and 7 because the dots are on 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. And on this guitar, it has one on 1, which isn't always there. And the 12th fret has 2 dots. So you can also see the dots here. So I have a guitar that I love that has no fret markers on the fretboard. And a lot of people, when I'm teaching are saying, I can't tell what you're doing, and how can you? And it's because you have them here. So when you're playing, it's better to look at them here, not to be hunched over your guitar. In a live setting, you would never be doing that, right? You wouldn't be able to. So open, 3, 5, then I go open, so no fingers on the fretboard again, 3, but now 6, 5, so past the 5th fret, then straight to the 5th fret. And when you're starting out, speed is not an issue, so don't go faster than you can. It's actually not going to help you. So slow it down and then work it up. I'm going to check in on you guys really quick. Let me see. Oh, I don't know what Lisa said. Lisa, will you ask one more time? I'm sorry. On Facebook, if I don't see them right away, I actually just don't see them. So let me see if I can see them if I press this. But it's for some reason I only about 5 comments at a time. So if you guys notice that I didn't answer your question or acknowledge it, please ask it again because I did not mean to. So yeah, I don't see them. Sorry. But Lisa, go ahead and ask again, and I will make sure that I see it. Okay. Awesome. That's cool. I like Carrie Underwood. Someone suggested a Carrie Underwood song. GT Dad too. Thank you so much. That's really cool. I appreciate that. Let me go back to Facebook and see if Lisa heard me. If not, it's okay. I'll keep playing. So, all right, the last part, right? So we did open 3, 5, open 3, 6, 5. The very last part, and I always try to think in patterns. So this one, I think of it going up and then down. So I go open 3, 5, up in pitch, right? And then down. So it's open 3, 5, 3, open. So remember, if you do play this version with the recording, it's not going to sound right because they're playing it in this open. Right? But what they're doing is they're playing 2 notes at the same time. So they're just using the 4th and 3rd strings and they're playing them both together and they're barring. So they're using the same exact frets. So if you get really comfortable with this, go ahead and use those frets, but lower it. At first, you might want to keep it just 1 note and just go on the 4th string. And then when you get more comfortable, go ahead and add in that other note. And it's just the same exact thing, but now barring. So it's open 3, 5, open 3, 6, 5, open 3, 5, 3, open. So you can mess around with which fingers you think make the most sense. This song isn't particularly at a very fast speed, so it's okay to not, play it like that. I'm just going to make sure. I haven't played this guitar in a while. Probably isn't going to help us stay in tune, but guitar is really fun. So I would say definitely stick with it. It gets way easier. I always tell my students too, for girls that are starting out and doing singer-songwriter stuff, girls or guys that are starting out doing singer-songwriter stuff, young girls or guys that want to just write, or young girls or guys that want to totally shred. If you're starting out with just chords too, you'll notice that how many chords you learned in this first song, the next song, that might be hard because you don't know anything. So you're learning 4 brand new chords. But say the next time you learn a song and now you're only learning 2 or 3 new chords or even 1. So it gets easier and easier. And the same thing with lead guitar. It just, the more you put into it. All right, let's see. Can I sing Smoke on the Water? It would kind of, but it wouldn't sound that great. What amp am I playing? I'm playing through a Mesa Road King cab. And then I have Axe FX too. I love Axe FX. You guys ask me about this a lot. I truly swear by it. And then I have a Matrix GT 1000 FX power amp. Because if you do have Axe FX, you need something to, it's a preamp, so you need something to power it to get it out that cab. Who is my favorite singer-songwriter? Ooh, I don't know. I like a lot of people. My favorite, new person, I like Ed Sheeran a lot, actually. I haven't listened to his new album, though, but I really liked a lot of his other stuff because the more I was teaching and stuff, he's very interesting. He writes really interesting guitar parts, a lot more interesting than you'd assume by just listening to him. But I thought that was really cool. Let's see. But I mean, I like everybody. I like Kurt Cobain. I like all those people too. So the next song that I usually teach people that's just a little bit more advanced is Seven Nation Army. So some of you that have been playing for a while, you may have heard this in like every guitar shop ever. But it's when you're teaching too. So remember, if you're advanced and you're thinking about teaching, this is a really successful song to pick when you're teaching because almost everybody likes it because they recognize it. So let's see. Okay, sorry. Lisa said, would that sound okay with single notes in an electric acoustic and with effects pedals? Of course. Yeah, you can do that for sure. I think this song isn't that crazy. So, I mean, if you wanted to play it with a full-on band, it's going to sound different. But I think you should go ahead and just play it acoustic without any pedals. But, I mean, why not mess around with everything? You never know. All right, cool. So, okay, cool. All right, so Seven Nation Army. This is a really good song too. So remember, if you're advanced, think of these as tips for teaching because, I've had a lot of friends that are really great guitar players, but when they sit down to teach, they have no idea where to go because what they think is easy now is not easy and vice versa, right? So this song I like because there's only about 3 parts and the verse and the chorus are really similar. And so it's just a really good song to show someone that they can play a song in just a lesson or 2. So the Seven Nation Army is also all on one string, which is why I pick it, and it introduces a power chord. So let's go ahead and hear it, and then I'll show you. And if you're a more advanced player, you can do things like add, pinch harmonics and stuff and make it a little more exciting and heavier sounding. But it's all on one string, but it's kind of cool, and you can sing it. It's easy, it's memorable, so let's go ahead and try that. Really quick, because you guys are here and hanging out with me, I do want to let you guys know about all these things, and I do truly try to like everything, be inspired by everything. So this is, I'll give this to Facebook first. This is a link to our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. Hi, Stephen. Arlesh, I've been playing for at least 12 years. It might be more. All right, so here is our link to Killer Guitar Control Secrets. This is an awesome DVD all about playing from your heart, and this is something that's not taught a lot. We teach you, the world teaches frequently songs, licks, things like that, but how to play from your heart and get the voice that you want out from your head, from your fingers, this is what this is all about. And this is like, going back to how does Carlos Santana become Santana? How does Eric Clapton become Eric Clapton? Jimi Hendrix become Jimi Hendrix? So this is really about finding your own voice, and it's going to cover 3 things. It's going to cover technique, which is, that speed picking and all that stuff. YouTube, I just gave it to you. So this is a special discount code for hanging out with me. Make sure this is the one that you use. But, we're going to cover technique, which is hammer-ons, pull-offs, all the kind of shred stuff that I'm doing a lot. Then we're going to cover fretboard knowledge, which is chords, scales, arpeggios, right? And then hand-brain connection. So what you want to get from your brain, out through your hands. So check out this DVD, all about playing from your heart, and here's your special discount code. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And also, please go to our YouTube page if you haven't already. Just youtube.com/guitar control, and go ahead and subscribe to us. We have videos coming out every day, like at least 1 to 2 new videos every day from myself and other teachers. So check them out. Anything from songs to funk to metal to rock, just everything. So make sure you check them out, and even warm-up videos. And also, before I get back to this song, we also go over, sorry, I was reading a comment. Something about dictionary. We also read these comments. So if there's songs that you can think of that you really want to learn, please leave a comment, and either you might see it in a video on YouTube or you might see it in a live stream from me. So let's see. Isn't it a slide guitar original? It's not, there's slide guitar parts, but not that part. That part is played. This is a simplified version, that's why I use it to start out, but it is played with bar chords, and that's why you get that sound. And it is by Jack White. Let's see. This is an ESP. Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't know what you guys were talking about on YouTube. Something about how many guitars you have. That's cool. Okay. I already bought 5 guitars. That's cool. I think, each guitar has a different characteristic about it. You can get different sounds out of it. So as long as you're putting that to use, why not? All right, so let's learn how to play this easy song. And again, if you're advanced on how you could teach this to somebody else, even if it's just you want to become a teacher, your niece or nephew, your own kids, or a friend. So let's check this out. So everything is on the 5th string. So this is getting us a little bit more advanced than playing only on the 6th string, but just baby steps. And that melody, I use my pointer on the 7th fret, 5th string. And I play it twice. 7, 7. Then I reach to 10 with my pinky. So I go 7, 7, 10, 7. And what I would do if you were my student and we were just starting out, I would have you do that a few times because even using your pinky in the beginning can be a little frustrating. So if you notice that you can't do that reach, go ahead and make sure that your thumb is very low on the back of the guitar. A lot of times this is a really eye-opening thing for people. So if you're not able to reach something, it's usually because your thumb is limiting your reach. So go ahead and move it around and see what feels more comfortable. But you'll notice this almost every time where you say, I can't reach it or this or that. It's usually just the placement of your thumb. So 7, 7, 10, 7. And then I would do it again. And then when I got comfortable, I would move on. So one last time. So 7, 7, 10, 7. Then we just go walk down. 5, 3, 2, 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2. And remember, this is mostly dots. So it's 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, and then right next to it, 2. So this part happens a lot of times in this song too. It's 12 or 14. I think it's 12, but there's a chance it's 14. But it's a lot of times. It's the intro and the verse. And, the drums. This is also a good song for songwriting too because it was such a big song. And you'll notice that the drums come in with just a kick, and then it builds and builds and builds. And that makes the song get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you don't get tired of that riff. A lot like, I think Metallica is also a really great band for everything, really. They're obviously more advanced in some senses, but they do a really good job of playing the same riffs, and they just layer things, and they make it not boring, and they make you appreciate every new layer that comes in, and it gets more and more exciting. So that's a really good songwriting tool too. All right, so that's the verse. Really, really easy, right? Then we're going to follow with 2 power chords. So I like to use this because it's a good way to introduce a power chord and it's not overwhelming. And it's a very simple rhythm. So it's an 8th note rhythm, which if you know much about rhythm, a quarter note is 1 beat. And usually, typically, in common time, which is 4/4, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'd have to have 4 quarter notes to complete a measure if you're using quarter notes. So a lot of times you can clap along to music going 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 8th notes. And an 8th note is half of a beat. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And even that, you'll notice, the more you play that how rhythm really changes something too. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for this power chord, I'm using just 2 fingers, but typically I use 3 fingers. If you're starting out, that might be hard, but I'll show you why you can do either. So take your pointer and place it on the 3rd string. We're going to play a G5, which is just a G note and a 5th. So I'm holding down the G, and I'm taking my 3rd finger. So the G is the 6th string, 3rd fret, and I take my 3rd finger and place it on the 5th string, 5th fret. And that's just holding down a root and a 5th. The reason why the pinky is optional is because that's an octave. And an octave means it's the same note as your root, so your main note, but higher. So it's a higher voicing. And it just kind of fattens up or thickens up a chord. So that's why some people like them and why you don't need it though. So if you're just starting out and it's hard enough to get 2 fingers down, that's all you need to do. And for my power chord, my thumb is definitely in the middle of the neck. So the middle of the back of the neck to give myself the ability to, stretch out more. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For that G5, the next chord is the same rhythm. same string, but we move up 2 frets to an A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And this part in the song is used to space out the verse and chorus. So, hey guys, sorry, I got kicked off. Let me know if you can see me. I can see a lot of your guys' questions, so let me know if you can see me. Oh, thank you, GT Dad, that's really cool. Play by ears, that's awesome. Let's see, back. All right, so just making sure you guys can see me. Sorry about that. Sometimes the program that we use just throws me off for a second. So if you were just following along, let's go ahead and get back into what we were doing. So I was showing you, if you're new, I just have it lower. So, okay. So sorry. So you guys' questions let me see. Okay, cool. So I was telling you guys about how to play a power chord. So if you just tuned in, go ahead and check out the video previous to this one. And we're going over Seven Nation Army. You know, in this song, you're in luck because the next part is actually also includes the verse. So you didn't miss out on too much. So I did a power chord on G. We did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we did 8th note rhythm. Then we moved to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we talked about how this part in this particular song, in Seven Nation Army, is used to separate the verse and chorus. So this is the pre-chorus, which does exactly what it sounds like. It preps you for the chorus. So to play a power chord, remember, put your pointer on the 3rd fret, 6th string to play this G5. Then go ahead and take your ring finger and place it on the 5th fret, 5th string, and pinky right under if you want to include that octave. If you don't, you know, you just don't strum those strings. So you only strum what your fingers are on in this case if you're not muting everything else. Muting is a whole nother thing. Muting is when you lightly touch the guitar to deaden the string so that it doesn't ring out. And sometimes you'll notice you do this by accident and you're really frustrated and you don't want to do that. And other times you'll notice that it's very helpful. So muting is a great thing to get into too. So again, it's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's it. That's the entire pre-chorus. So let me check in on you guys. Cool. Awesome. So next, cool. Okay. All right. Then the next part is the chorus. And I always, if I was writing this out on a piece of paper, you know, I always call it. Then the fancy version is just that almost exact same thing with a little bit of a flair. So we go 7, 7, 10, 7, same so far, 5, 3, same. But instead of going straight to 2, we go 5, 3, 2. So you hear this. And it just sounds a little fancier, right? So that part is 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 5, 3, 2. Again. 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 5, 3, 2. And I would count the regular part and the little fancy part as one time through, and then do that again. So 2 times total. So like this. And that's the chorus. Then back to our pre-chorus, which we kind of use just to separate those parts. And then back to a verse. So just this regular part, right? And that's pretty much the entire part and way to play Seven Nation Army. So again, I'm going to give you guys links since I got kicked off. So this, you know, for hanging out with me today, I really appreciate it. I have a special discount code for you guys. So this is for our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. This is a deep from your heart. So, you know, I've talked about this before. It's something that isn't always addressed a lot, right? And it's something that's kind of hard to teach. So playing from your heart means getting the voice, like not the voice inside your head, but kind of getting the music that's in your head out of your hands. And it's kind of a hard thing to teach. So this is a really awesome, super useful DVD to help you guys do this. So this is more, you know, along the lines of how did Hendrix become Hendrix? How did, you know, Angus Young get all the noises in his head out of his hands? And it's about finding your voice. So it's very cool. I'm going to give this to YouTube really quick. let me grab this for you guys. And we're going to cover 3 things in this, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that too. We're going to go over, oh, sorry, let me grab this. You guys can see me thinking, huh? I'm like copying and pasting this to give to you. So this is your code. So this is going to cover techniques. Hi, Magic, of course. So this is going to cover technique. It's going to cover fretboard knowledge and hand-brain connection. So getting everything in your head out of your hands. So check out this link, specifically this one, to give you that discount code. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and checking out these lessons. I'll be back on Tuesday with a new topic that you guys sent in. So every Tuesday I'm doing custom topics to you guys, and Thursday. So I'll be here Tuesday and Thursday doing these custom topics. So keep sending them in. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and give this to Facebook. Oh, Lisa, the name of those 2 power chords are G and A. So G is the 3rd fret and A was the 5th. Thank you for letting me know you can see me. That's always good to know. All right, cool. So yes, this is all about getting, what's in your head out of your hands. So check out this DVD, and thank you. So this is the code for that. And, check out our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and subscribe so that you guys can, get notifications too. If you click that little bell, you get a notification exactly when we put up a new video, and we're putting them up at least 1 to 2 a day. So there'll be me and other instructors from our site giving you guys, lesson videos. So they're anything from your favorite metal songs, your favorite, jazz songs, blues songs. We cover almost everything, if not everything. And, it's all thanks to you guys. So send in those, requests, and also technique videos too. All right, so we're about to wrap it up, so go ahead and ask questions. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. All right. So you guys are all over the place. That is so cool. There's people from everywhere writing us, so I really appreciate that. So yeah, it's about Q&A time, so go ahead and ask me a question, and we can wrap this up. See, and Facebook again, you guys are a little delayed, so sometimes if it takes me a second, don't worry, I'm going to answer it. What is my guitar rig and setup? So the guitar that I'm using today is an ESP. I really like this guitar. I feel really lucky to have it. So they gave it to me, which is really cool, and I love this guitar. It's a sparkle glitter top guitar. It's really easy to play, just a really fun guitar. And then I'm using Spectraflex cables, so I use the Fatso Flex. I'm pretty sure that's what Dimebag used, and so I was like, cool, I can use that too. Then I have this Mesa Road King cab hooked up to Axe-Fx 2, which is a preamp. I've said this to you guys before, so if you do get an Axe-Fx or something like that, you do need a power amp, and I'm using a Matrix GT1000 FX power amp. I like this setup a lot because the power amp has tubes in it, so it kind of gives me this different sound, this more authentic sound. And then my processor, my Axe-Fx, my preamp, has a ridiculous amount of settings. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but they have like 300 different amps inside one. So they're very useful. I used to work in a studio and record a lot more like music for television stuff, and now I do more stuff that I like, or not that I don't like, that more like metal and stuff, of my choice. But it's just so much. There's so much in there, and even just for my metal stuff, I just have every amp and everything that I can want. If I want a clean sound, I can go ahead and go to the kind of amp that I like the clean sound of. If I want a rock and roll sound, I can go to a rock and roll sound. If I want a super metal sound, I can go to that. I can go to blues. I can go to anything. So these are really awesome. They're an investment, but they're really worth it. I think they're awesome. But I also use, they are expensive, but that's why, because they are pretty amazing. It's digital, so it's nuts. But I also play Menarche guitars. So the other guitars you see me play, the white guitar, I have a black guitar that's the same exact, setup as that white guitar, the Goddess from Menarche, and then I have a Fury from Menarche, but it's custom. So I love that guitar too. It's got a piece of lace over it, and it's gold. It's really, really cool. It is a different spelling. So John's asking. It is. I'll write it for you. Axe-Fx. So it's spelled A-X-E space and then just a capital F-X. So it's not Axe-Fx. It's Axe-Fx. All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab Facebook if you guys are asking any questions. I always have to refresh Facebook, so I'm really sorry. But Lisa, yes, it was G5 and A5. So remember, G5 and A5 means just the G note and the fifth in the scale. So, G, and then you count up those notes. So G, A, B, C, D. All right. That's funny. Inexpensive. They are expensive, but they are really, really worth it. And Kempers are really cool too. Yeah, no problem. YouTube. So yes, thank you guys so much. Also, check out that link because that link, I don't know how long it's going to be up there, so make sure you link. And let me go ahead and see what you guys are saying on Facebook. I think my Facebook is taking a second to refresh. So, yes, when you watch over this, or if you're tuning in, I was showing this in two different ways. So showing this in the perspective of a teacher and the perspective of a beginner. So remember, if you are starting out, guitar is super fun. It's going to be a little hard in the beginning, so don't get discouraged at all. It's hard later on too, and you have to keep things up. So I always do try to compare it to being an athlete. So, you have to practice like an athlete. You have to train and you have to stay on top of things. So don't get discouraged. Try and take things slow before you speed them up. And enjoy it, most of all, because it's supposed to be fun. And, sometimes, unfortunately, people make it unfun or really competitive, and that's not what it's about. So, playing from your heart and being, having fun. It's an outlet. So really, really enjoy it. All right, I'm going to give you that code one more time, everybody, and I really, really appreciate it. Oh, John is saying get the DVD. That's awesome. So I will give this to you one more time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back Tuesday at 7 Central, so this same exact time. Thank you guys. Make sure you, we'll do the same thing. We'll do questions at the very end. Let's see. Do you know when you'll be live streaming again? Yes, Patrick. I will be here Tuesday at 7 and also Thursday at 7. So we'll do a new topic then. And these are custom topics, so thank you guys for sending them in. I appreciate it. All right, Facebook, this is for you one more time, and I will see you guys Tuesday. So, yes, check out these links. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because there are tons of free videos on there for myself and others. So let me send this to you one more time. Oh, let me see. I think this is the right one. Cool. I'll send this to you, Facebook. And yes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click that bell, and stay tuned for more videos soon from myself and other instructors. So thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. Lisa, you're funny. Go ahead, Lisa. Your neighbor will enjoy it. They'll see your progress, too. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks. Thank you, John. Thank you, Magic Forest. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lisa. I will see you guys next week.